Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shlitva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We saw in our day-to-day life the Archana aspect of the Navada Bhakti. When we are implementing, our life is equally valuable. Much of the time of our life goes in the secular world, and it has to be converted into a constant sacrifice unto God. The yajna concept is brought here. To convert my life also simultaneously along with the spiritual practices. We spiritualize every aspect of life. We make the divine percolate through all layers of our existence by exposing ourselves to the Lord's feet. So these two aspects of life, one, the secular life spiritualized to become sadhana, and another side, pure spiritual practices. Both of them help each other, will be supplement and complement to each other, and lift the soul to higher levels of existence. Otherwise, secular life will be pulling down, and spiritual practices, a small amount, unable to compensate it, will be trying to buoyance itself, balance itself somehow, and carry on. So life, the Archana, is if myself offering in every respect to God. So spiritual life must go with the secular life being purely spiritual life. That's what we call to divine to percolate through our existence at all times under all circumstances. And so we come to the other aspect of spiritual life in which we are thinking of the puja. Puja, we saw all the preliminaries of the Bahya Puja, Manasa Puja we saw, then the Bahya Puja, external worship. We saw through all the aspects of the preliminaries and entered into the main puja. In main puja, we saw the Adhara Shakti, that is here as the Pita Devata and Pita Shakti, and then we saw the Rishyadi Nyasa, in which I identify with the Rishi to get the same feelings as the Rishi did. As the Meera sings, we have to sing Meera Bhajan with the same attitude, with the same awareness and way, with the same way of her going. Then we get the same result. So Rishadinya consists of my tuning myself to the way adopted by him and realized by him. The process by which he reached God in and through this worship is given to us. Now, I must have the same attitude. I must have the same way of going, same awarenesses, same actions, same feelings. Then I will get the same result. For that we do the Rishyadinyasa. Then Anganyasa, Karanyasa. Anganyasa, Nyasa we saw is removal of the worldly tendencies in my bodily existence, especially those which are connected to consciousness directly. Anything happens, suddenly our eyes go, hand go. So these are the which are connected with my consciousness, independent of mind and intellect, they work. Working through mind and intellect is different. I am going to write, I am going to think. Suppose I am driving, somebody comes in the front, as reflex, I do the braking, putting the brake. My leg goes without thinking. Before a mind can think, just a sight, the awareness. I am aware of somebody coming. Before mind can grasp it properly and intellect can discern, I have already put the brake. So this aspect is to be purified because they are directly connected to the consciousness. So here we do the hands, karanyasa. In anganyasa, there is heart. Heart responds. Anywhere any suffering. And my own, suppose I am left alone, how I feel that loneliness. So loneliness I feel because of the situations. I experience, my heart, my emotional being is involved. It doesn't obey the mind, it doesn't obey the intellect. It starts burning within, feeling within, independent of the body and mind. Mind tries to console it in so many ways, reason out, but you cannot eliminate that loneliness. Similarly, something happening to someone related to you, your own child is sick or bedridden or met with an accident, how you feel. These are independent of the bodily and mental and intellectual understandings. So heart, Hridayaya Namaha. Shuddhi with this we are divinizing, removing the tendencies of my vasana. Whatever I feel, whether it is loneliness or feeling for others, it is vasana maya. Now I respond, my heart must respond to the divine in them. Wherever I see, whatever I see, I have to grow to the level of penetrating and seeing the divine in that. I am at the gross material level. From material level, I must shift the paradigm to the spiritual level. So this shift in the paradigm I am doing through the nyasa, removal. How I am bringing the God's name, Namanamni Abheda, and one by one letter of the name of the Lord. Suppose Shiva's puja I am doing Om Namah Shivaya, I am taking. If I am doing of any Devi, the Shakti, Ram, Reem, Room, Raim, Ram, Raha, I use. Like that, the Bija mantras or the Nama as each letter as the Bija mantra, as a power packed representative of the Devata. Now Ramakrishna, Om Aim Ramakrishna, Athva Aim Ramakrishna, Aim Ramakrishna, Om Aim Ramakrishna. So Shadanga, 5 fingers and Karatala Karaprashta, 6. So Om Agushabhyam Ram Tarjana Mam Madhyamabhyam Ushtar Kramanam Kapyam Shram Kanishikabhyam Ushtar Karatala Karaprashtabhyam Astraya Pata Namaha Ram Krishnaya Namaha. So this aspect, I do same thing for the heart. Each is taken to represent the God, and so that the whole thing becomes clearly, I must feel. The Lord's name, each of the letter or the Bija mantra pertaining to that Devata is used to associate every part of my shadangas and fingers with the Devata. Om Hridayaya Namaha Ram Shirishi Swaha Mum Shikhaya Vishata Kram Kavachaya Om Shlam Netrabhyam O Shataraha Karatalagara Prashtabhyam Astraya Pata. Now, these aspects, Hridaya is always connected with the Shirasa, intellect. Everything I do is with Buddhi. I want to drink water, I'm going to lift a glass, my intellect is in front of it. Anything happening, immediately I reason out before I can touch the divine. Now, I want the intellect to follow the divine. Intellect not to interfere and calculate before I touch the divine. Divine must be spontaneous and intellect must follow. Hridaya Shirisheswa, Shikhaya Vashata. Shikha is the awareness of dharma karma. What is to be done? What am I doing? What is to be done? What am I doing? I am a human being. How should I behave in various situations of life is one part. What am I doing now is another part. I go on telling, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? That introspective awareness is Shikha. Shikha Vishata Kavachaya Home. I do all the way. The Kavacha means the two arms. Arms represent all the karmendriyas. Kavachaya Home. Netrabhyam or Netratrayaya Om Shata. Two physical eyes and the eyes with which I try to see the divine. Netratrayaya Om Shata. Ramakrishna Karatalagara Prashtabhyam Astrayavata. So, Karatala Karaprashta, the palms and the back part. The pros and cons, the opposites, dualities. See, this is also 5 fingers, this is also 5 fingers. Both are palm and the back. They are reverse of each other. This is what I am taking, this is what I am giving. The two dualities are represented. Karatala is always what I receive. Karaprashta is always what I give. All transactions with the palm is represented by it. All dualities are represented by these things. So these are, suppose I have to give to somebody, I have to take from somebody. The moment I see that person, if some person has taken 5,000 rupees from me and is not giving, the moment I see him, before I can think of him, his position or anything, first thought comes is 5,000 rupees he has not given me. His presence itself invokes that 5,000 rupees. Or I have to give him, I have taken a loan from him. Giving and taking, how it affects the personality, how reflexfully the thoughts appear. So all these aspects which are connected with my consciousness, other things are there. Digestive system is there, important circulatory system is there. They all are working at the level of nature. Nature is working. But here, I is associated with the actions. The moment it becomes, but it is independent of I also. It is not totally independent, but the consciousness is working at the conscious level of the I being associated with it. So I am doing the reflexes which are governed by vasanas are replaced by the reflexes driven by the divine, whatever aspect of God, His powers. Now I am worshipping Krishna. Krishna's power are working, functioning in my all aspects of my reflex actions. Reflex actions, if they are of the divine, all other actions should be of divine. Even digestion and breathing becomes the part of the divine. So nature is always associated with the divine. So Anganyas in puja, how we are going, you see, Rishyadinyasa, Anganyasa, Karanyasa, and then Dhyana. In Dhyana, this is the part of the second half, Vair Puja. We do the Dhyana in Manasa Puja also. That is a different part. Here we are doing the Bahir Puja. And in Dhyana, we do the external worship. That is the Pita Puja. Now I have done the Pita Nyasa and Pita Puja. I am going to bring out the Lord from my heart, make him sit or occupy the emblem which I am going to worship. Now what I do is, I keep the flower in my Kurma Mudra. Kurma is considered as the Adhara of the entire world or universe. Many times we associate with the world, the earth in which we live, and many times we associate with the entire universe, all the planes of existence together, Adhara. So Kurma is, can, the inside it can drag its limbs, it can stretch its limbs, it can move and act, means once it withdraws, Sri Ramakrishna says, once the kurma withdraws, even if you cut into pieces, it will not stretch out. So much of self-control. It exercises self-control, and you can put any amount of weight. Once it withdraws its senses inside. An elephant can stand on a tortoise. Kurma is tortoise. Tortoise shell, it will not break even if the elephant stands on it. So strong it is. It can bear. The bearing capacity, the whole world as it rests. Well, what can bear naturally such a heavy weight like elephant? You can see. So this aspect of bearing and this of absolute self-control. Where do I find God? In total forbearance, infinite forbearance I must have, not to be affected by anything happening outside. That much of any insults, any losses, any pleasures, any temptations must not be able to shake me. When I'm meditating, how should I be? I must be able to bear. Bear means it should not affect me. And at the same time, all senses, mind, everything totally withdrawn, like tortoise withdrawing its limbs and head inside and covering itself. To be unseen, unmoved by anything external. Any enemy comes, the tortoise just withdraws and stays there. The elephant can walk on it, nothing happens. So this Kurma Mudra, in Kurma Mudra, I am in total self-control and in forbearance, that is unshakable, sthanu. I become sthanu. I am firm in my meditation. So when I utter Dhyana Mantra, I am extremely clear of visualizing my Ishtadevata alone. I have forgotten the world in my concentration, in my love, in my dedication. I have forgotten the world. I have forgotten my bodily existence. I am fully aware of the Lord on whom I am meditating. Hridaya Kamala Madhye. We saw the meaning earlier. Hridaya Kamala Madhye. Where am I going to meditate? In the core of my existence, which is the pivot of my entire physical existence. The Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karna Sharira, and all the contents in these. And the whole thing is the pivot is the innermost core is the pivot on which it rotates. So this we see the dhyana mantra is associated with this. So I am meditating on the Lord and clear till a clear picture of my Ishtadevata comes. I invoke him, I awaken my love, I awaken my intellect, I integrate my entire personality, offer at his feet. My whole concentration on object of love, the only object is my Ishtadevata. I try to, when I whole become one and observe, I'll be able to clearly visualize begin with my imagination. I began with imagination, slowly extend to visualization to see clearly every part and every aspect of the Lord. I bring the guna into picture. Nirupama Mati Sukshma, all that. And Vitaritumavata Tirnam. He has come to give all these aspects. One is Rupa, another is Guna, another is his existence, all pervading and the beyond. In his own glory, unaffected by anything, and pervading the universe and governing all aspects of God. He has indweller. All this I visualize in the dhyana, clear picture of God, His greatness, His glory, His purity, His divinity, so many aspects of His. This one I meditate upon. When it becomes clear picture of in my heart, I try to bring Him out and invoke Him in the emblem. It may be Shivalinga, it may be Saligrama, it may be a Kalasha, it may be a diagram, two-dimensional, it can be a three-dimensional Meru, it can be a coconut, it can be a fruit, it can be a leaf, it can be a flower, anything I can utilize and try to see His presence there and do the worship. So in this, after the dhyana, I am slowly trying to, when the picture becomes clear, the flower in the hand, I open, and with the breath, because air that goes inside and comes out is going to sustain my life. Jiva Tattva. I am alive, life. This life energy is sustained by the breath I take, and other part is the food and the oxygen that I take, air. They together, the energy and the combustion maintains the life in me. So air, the another aspect of air is it carries without getting affected. Now there is breeze blowing over fine fragrant flowers. It carries the fragrance, but it is not affected. It leaves the fragrance and goes away. The air is air. Vayu. Vayu Tattva is perceivable by touch. Perceivable. Air you can touch and feel. You can't see, but you can touch and feel. Feeling is there, you can feel. You can't see, you can't smell, you cannot taste, but it remains as it is unaffected. Unaffected, unanointed, though it carries. So the air which is going inside through breath as breath is uncontaminated. When it comes out also uncontaminated, but it carries, just like it carries the fragrance from a flower, it's carrying the presence of God in my heart. I am bringing Him out through my breath. Breath is ever pure because it sustains life and it never gets contaminated. So I bring that through the breath, uttering the bija mantra of that devata. Suppose Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya. I breathe over the flower. And suppose it is Durga, Om Dum Durga Devi Namaha. Whatever the Om Aim, for Ramakrishna, Aim is the puja bija mantra. So Aim alone is sufficient. The bija mantras alone are sufficient. So the particular bija mantra I utter, which is the expression of my consciousness. We are uttering, why bija mantra uttering is necessary is Vak is coming out. Vak is what relates to the transcendental, the consciousness. It is not only God's presence, it is consciousness, it is living presence of God. That's why we combine the meditation, what I meditate upon, the form, qualities, guna, ananta kalyana, guna paripurna, and then it's a conscious God. Therefore, to make me understand the God who is coming out of through the breath is conscious God, living God. So the bija mantra give that consciousness. It is bija mantra coming from the Chaitanya. My Chaitanya it is coming. All para pashyanti madhyama vaikhari. This is also coming from the transcendental. The Lord also is coming from the transcendental. And reaching the flower. Flower I keep on the object which I am going to be it an image. It can be image of a God. I keep it, that flower at its feet. It can be Shivalinga. I keep it touching the Shivalinga. And I feel that Lord is sitting on the Shivalinga or in the flower which I have brought, or the image or the kalasha, whatever I am worshipping. In that I will start seeing the presence of God. See, we are taking again, we go back, we are taking the Bhagavan is beyond three gunas, is the gospel word. We are here, the Bhagavan being manifest. How, in what all ways we are going to contact, in what all ways is the relationship between the Bhakta and Bhagavan. You just see, in every aspect of life, we saw on the other side, everything. I am spiritualizing my whole life. I am offering what is devotee and what is Bhagavan and Bhakta, devotee and the Lord. How they are related, we are trying to see from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have arrived here. Ramakrishna appearing in front of you, externally from your heart as the Antaryami, indweller. He has come out, emerged out of you, and He is there in the emblem before you for the worship. And it is this worship that I am going. First thing is, again, try to confirm His presence there by showing, Yagacha, O Lord, appear here before me, come here before me, Yatishta, stay here, Yasanidehi, keep your Sanidhya here, your divine presence, the whole, your greatness, your glory, let it be manifest here. Yasanidhyasva, be here without going anywhere or without diverting your attention. Look at me, I am yours in front of you. I am trying to limit Him to the form and guna and asking Him. And yasanidhyasva, yasanmukho bhava. turn your face to me. You are Sahasa Shirsha Purusha. You have face everywhere, but now you look at me. Specifically look at me. And Mama Puja Grahana, accept my worship. So with this, we invoke the Lord's presence in the emblem and do the worship. We'll continue. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.